Hey everybody, and welcome back to a new video. Those who have been watching my videos lately have been seeing more wider shots with some cinematic flair, and that is thanks to this lens right here. Just a disclaimer before I start, this video is not sponsored by Sirui. I bought this lens with my own money, and this is a user experience and just my own thoughts about this lens. Now, straight to the build quality, it is a hefty lens. Pretty much everything is metallic. It has some weight to it, so if it falls on your head, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna feel it on the camera. If you look inside, you will see the oval shape that will give you that wider look and those cinematic flares that the anamorphic lens usually gives you. The aperture ring and the focus ring are both smooth, but the aperture ring is a little bit tighter than the focus ring. Focus pulling is pretty easy with this because the radius of the focus, it's much more smaller than, for example, with the Nightwalkers, if you ever use the Nightwalkers. The price of this lens is about 500 bucks new, and right now while filming this video, Sirui is having some sales on their website, so you can get it actually a little bit cheaper. Now, a big plus is that with that price range, this is something that you would call affordable compared to other anamorphic lenses, especially the pro level lenses. Now, that said, this is something that I highly suggest beginners, and if you are a pro and you've been using anamorphics for a long time, I highly suggest looking at those anamorphics rather than this, because this is suitable for beginners with this price range. Now, 500 bucks for this, and if I remember correctly, then you got the 24, the 35, and the 85mm lenses. So that's about 2,000 bucks for all of these lenses. And that means that all those lenses combined, it's actually about the same price as one pro level lens. Now, the image quality of this lens, it is freaking great, to the point that is too freaking great. And what I mean by that is that it does have the anamorphic flares and it gives you a wider shot, but it doesn't really have that much anamorphic qualities. If you're used to using pro level or other kind of anamorphic lenses, you usually get unique kind of bokeh, because everybody wants to hear about the bokeh. You get unique bokeh, swirly bokeh, you get different kind of looks, but this is clean, this is sharp, this is something that sometimes when I'm editing, I can't even recognize if it's anamorphic unless I really look at it or look at the aspect ratio. The Sirui 50mm is a great option as a first anamorphic lens if you're thinking about getting one, because you're usually behind the camera shooting at subjects and you want that tighter field of view to get that subject in focus and separate it from the background. With the f1.8, you separate the subject pretty much, and you can actually use it in low light if you're good at focusing, that is. Now, next I'm going to show you photos taken with this lens, and yes, I did take some photos. Usually using anamorphics for photos isn't suggestible because, well, you have to de-squeeze them and everything like that, but I got some really nice results with it, and you get that nice, unique cinematic look to your photos when using a 50mm as a photo lens. You could actually use a 50mm as a portrait lens, which is pretty cool, and you get that cinematic portrait if you want to. Now, like I said, the 50mm is a great option for a first timer, and I'm a first timer, so that's why I bought the 50mm, because I know that I am behind the camera shooting B-roll, taking shots of a subject, and that is why the 50mm is great. But this has given me a reason to amp up my lens collection and get more anamorphics to get more different kind of shots, because the 50mm, though it's great, it doesn't do everything for you. Now, these anamorphics has a 1.33 times squeeze, and you can get them for APS-C cameras and MFT. If I remember correctly, you get them for the E mount, MFT, and the X mount, and this is the X mount for the Fujifilm cameras. Of course, Sirui has a really wide option of different kind of cinema lenses, anamorphics for full frame, etc. So go check them out if you haven't, because they make great lenses. All in all, this lens is great for a first timer at least. It gives you a great look, a clean, clinical look. It doesn't give you that unique look probably if you want something like that, something that has characteristics, but this is a great lens overall, and I highly suggest getting one. That's it for this video. Hope you liked it. If you did, remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I'll be seeing you on the next one.